back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today I just wanted to talk about what you are willing to sacrifice. Sacrifice in every area of your life. Whenever you are ready for growth and you want something different, you want to be put into that new position in your life, higher place in your life. You're tired of standing still now. You're tired of just dealing with whatever you have going on right now. Your life is beginning to get stale, it's stagnant. You feel like you're not reaching your fullest potentials. You feel like all the goals and things you have in mind is out of reach, but it's really not. If it's within you, you're dreaming about it, you're thinking about it, you have ambition for it, then you have what it takes to get to what it is that you're envisioning. The problem is you have to learn to sacrifice something. You can't take everything with you, no matter what. I mean, you can't take the same old friends with you. If they're willing to be okay with a mediocre life and you're wanting to run a business, you're wanting to, go out here and praise and preach to the world, or you want to go out here and be a scientist or something extraordinary, you have to let those friends go. They can't go with you, because what's going to happen is their negativity and their mediocrity is going to bleed onto your life, and it's going to keep you stuck. Just like being stuck in quicksand. That's what you're going to be stuck in, because you see the way out, but you're stuck in this quicksand of which is all your friends, and maybe you're in a toxic relationship or a relationship that just ran its course. Relationships don't always have to end horribly just for it to be over. Sometimes it just runs its course. When you two are not in alignment anymore, when you two want different things out of life, you go separate paths, that's okay. You don't have to hold on to and say, well, we've been together for 10 years, we've been together for 15 years, we've been together for 20 years, this is who I'm supposed to be with. Yeah, that's who you're supposed to be with at that point in that season of your life. But not everybody's meant to live with you until you die. Not everybody is meant to go into new encounters with you. Sometimes, your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend is the dead weight that you're carrying, and you want more. Maybe your spouse is content with their life. They're just stagnant and they're okay with it. That does not make them wrong. If they're happy in that stagnant state, that's where they are right now on their journey. That's where they are right now in their life. So you cannot get mad at them because they're not jumping and looking for new ways to build on their life and new things to do, new encounters to encounter. They're not, they're not ambitious like you are right now. That doesn't make them wrong. I mean, at one point maybe you wasn't and they were. So that doesn't make you wrong just because you're not on the same path as them. All that just means is that you guys are not on the same page. Now, can you work it out? Is the way their life is and the way your life is going, is it in alignment? If it's not, then maybe it's time to consider, separating from that person, or, whatever you got to do. Go to your higher power, pray about it, seek answers, seek guidance, seek some wisdom on what you're supposed to do. And if it's to let go, then you have to let go, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to climb the ladder. I mean, think about it this way. How many times have we had friends, our associates, or our kids, our spouses, our significant others? We've had them in our lives and we thought we were happy. I mean, we probably were happy at that time, in that point of our life. We were happy, but we wanted more, and we wanted them to get to where you're at, or you want them to get to where you're going. You want them to take the same path as you, and you're climbing this ladder and you're trying to lift them and pull them at the same time, and they're just like hanging there, just dangling. And you're just like, it's just so heavy and it's taking so long to get there, because you're carrying dead weight. You're carrying someone who does not have the same vision as you have. That same person doesn't want the same things that you want. So you're trying to climb them up a ladder that is, to them, it's like, okay, I'll go. I mean, you're saying great things. Like, they want to reap the harvest of your hard work, but they don't want to do the hard work with you to get there, because we know that everything requires sacrifice. So are you willing to, in order to go to school and get a degree, are you willing to to work a full-time job if you have to, and then go to school full-time, and then lose sleep? Or are you willing to retake classes if you have to? Are you willing to be uncomfortable, give up your weekends to study? Are you willing to do that? That's a sacrifice. If you have children, are you willing to sacrifice going out and the party life and you traveling with you and your boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse or whomever, your friends? Or are you willing to give up on some of the nice things that you want in order to make sure you take care of your kids and you're spending time with your kids and you're feeding into your kids, and it's not just about you anymore, it's about your children now? Are you willing to be unselfish and give up your free time and the things that you want and the things that you desire for yourself, for your children? It's a sacrifice. If you want to get into a healthy relationship, a happy relationship, are you willing to do the work that it takes for you first, working on you internally, so that you'll be a good fit for someone else, so that you'll know how to bring love to the table and not baggage, not pain, not hurt, not past relationships to a new situation? Are you willing to do that work? Are you willing to get raw and dirty with yourself and say, this is where I'm bleeding at. I'm going to bleed this negativity and this pain onto someone else if I don't fix this open wound. Am I willing to do that on my own? Am I willing to be single and to not settle until it's time for me to get into a relationship or be with someone who I feel is the person who's for me? Am I willing to do that? Am I willing to wait? Because when you're willing to wait, you're going to see all your friends, you're going to see family, you're going to see people on TV, you're going to see people on your social media who are going to be people you feel like are not, they may not have done all the work that you've been doing. You may have worked so hard. You went through all the coaching classes, you went through counseling, you went through therapy, you got a relationship with your higher power, you're abstinent, you're just focused on being whole and happy and peacefully happy and content happy, and it's been years. And then the other person who's just like out here just in this relationship, out that relationship, doing this, doing that, cheated on this relationship, getting into a new relationship, doing whatever they want to do, they seem to always get the people, right? It's a sacrifice. You have to hurt through it sometimes, because the devil shows up like that. He's going to show up and try to deceive you, make you think, yep, there's something wrong with you, or do you really want to live your life this way? It's boring, you're missing out, like you're getting older, you're not going to be able to have kids, you're not at a certain age, you're never going to find happiness and love, you're too picky, you expect too much out of people, you ask for too much, your ideal of what you want in a relationship is too big. Nobody's gonna ever be that for you, or no one's ever gonna bring that to you. But if you're willing to wait and sacrifice and say, you know what, if I gotta be alone 2, 3, 4, 5+ years, and just date and just with dating, you're not sleeping around. But for those of you who do, I'm not judging you, but in dating, that's what is best for you to do, is to stay abstinent and just date, get to know that person. But yeah, so are you willing to just date and just be content until that right person comes along for you, no matter how long it takes? Or are you going to throw a fit and be like, I'm tired of being single, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, I'm rushing, I'm ready to join the town now, I don't want to wait anymore, I don't want to sacrifice being alone to wait for that right person? Are you, it's all to you. At the end of the day, all the decisions that you make in life is your decision. No one can tell you what to do. I can't tell you what to do. I can just give you advice and tell you that if you really want to expand your life, if you really want to live up to the highest potential that you can live up to, and you really want to get to all those blessings that your higher power, that God has for you, it's going to require sacrifice. And sacrifice does not feel good. Sacrifice is not always pretty. Sacrifice sometimes like a slap in the face. I mean, seriously, think about how many times you may have, given up a job because you felt like you knew that there's somewhere else that you wanted to go better, or maybe you had a different passion and you give up a job that was making, let's say, $15 an hour, and then the job that you went for that is something that you're passionate about, maybe they're making only $10 an hour, and it makes it feel like it's a slap in the face. But then when you start working it and you work out of that energy of, I sacrifice, that to get here. Now I'm going to put my best foot forward here. I'm going to plant my feet in the dirt here and grow. Then you start working, you start being recognized. You may notice that people on that job treat you so much better and they respect you so much better than before you know it. But then a couple of years, you're making way more than what you were making at the other job. But you had to sacrifice. You wouldn't have known had you not sacrificed. You get what I'm trying to say? I mean, I use analogies a lot, but it's a sacrifice is what I'm saying. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice? In order to get something, you have to give something. Life is not always about you get to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G all in a row. Sometimes you're going to have A for a while, and to get to B, you're going to have to let go of A. And to get to C, you may have to let go of some of B. It's not always where you get to keep this long, pretty smooth, trail of all the people, all the things that you've had as you keep progressing in life and getting to the next level in your life. It doesn't work that way. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to endure? And I use myself as an example before I go. I mean, I'm sure you guys got the idea, but I left everything I knew, my friends, my job, my comfortability, and I moved 1,000 miles away to a whole new state where I barely know people. It's huge here. I felt like one pillar of salt in a whole tube of salt, a whole salt shaker. Like I feel like I'm just sunk in here. Like, does anyone know I exist? When before, because I lived there for so long and I built a life there, of course I felt like I knew everybody, It was like, oh, I know people, and I felt comfortable. I had to get uncomfortable. I had to sacrifice my comfortability, my level of comfort with a child, and just move out and do what I was feeling led to do. And then here I am. And everything fell into place. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened. But it was my sacrifice, my willingness to be obedient to my higher power, my willingness to do what I felt led to do, my willingness to get down and dirty and to do the things that I really didn't want to do to get to the place that God wanted me to be, to get to the blessings that He has for me. So you guys think about that. Think about it. Think about what you're willing to sacrifice. Stop praying for a marriage if you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to get married. And you're not willing to let it go. You're not willing to sacrifice and be single so that you can be free and be available for someone who wants to get married. You're not willing to sacrifice that. You want to still have this person while you're praying to be married, and you're hoping that this person is going to change their mind and they're going to say, like, okay, let's get married. Or you're hoping that someone's going to come along while you're in this relationship who is marriage material, someone that wants to marry you. And then you're going to leave this relationship and go, that's not how it's going to work. Even if it works for you in that moment, it's not going to work long term because you need to heal. And you can't do people like that. You can't, oh, now I found somebody else who wants to marry me now, so I'm going to leave you and going with this person. You can't do that. It's going to come back on you. So do things the right way and be willing to sacrifice if that's what you need to do. Sacrifice for your happiness. Sacrifice to get to that higher level of where you're trying to be. So everybody in your life is not always meant to be there forever. Some people are seasons. They're seasonal. Some seasons last a long time, 10, 20 years. But that doesn't mean that they're just meant to be in your life just because they've been there that long. No. learn to let it go. Disconnect from it. Maybe you guys can be friends down the road. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you have to disconnect on that level with them, like if it's a relationship, it doesn't mean that you, just because you're disconnecting with them on a romantic level, that you can't be friends, because you can. You know, some people are better off as friends. But if you're friends with somebody and you disconnect from them, don't try to hope later on you're going to be friends. I mean, sometimes it's just best to just stay away from it, because there's a reason you had to leave anyway. And it just may not, it's just, you know, you get what I'm trying to say. Just leave it alone. But my point is, that's what I'm saying, because I can talk all day, y'all. Sacrifice for your happiness. Even when it makes you feel uncomfortable, even when it makes other people feel uncomfortable, even when people start to judge you and call you stupid, say you're dumb, like that's the stupidest decision you can make, like you're with somebody amazing, why would you leave? You have a great paying job, why would you quit your job for something different? Or a lot of people got testimonies on quitting their jobs for YouTube. You know, I mean, look at some of their stories. That was a sacrifice. They didn't know that it was going to get on YouTube and make money. They didn't know that if they left their jobs, that they were going to find something that was going to bring them more equity, that was going to bring them more joy, because they're doing something that they wanted to do and they were making money from it. And now they have nice lifestyles. They're living nicer than I am. And I work a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but if it was the calling for their life, if they were in alignment with their higher being, and if they were in alignment with their purpose for life, then yes, those are the people that are exceeding and excelling, because they did what they had to do, what they felt called to do. Not did it just because of a hope. Not did it just because they were making a little bit of money and so they didn't feel like going to work no more. But they did it because they had a passion for it, and they had a calling on their life that's what they were supposed to do. So, y'all let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about sacrifice, y'all. I know sacrifice, that word sounds, I used to cringe at that word, because sacrifice just, I don't know, I just felt like, why did we have to do that? But I understand now. I understand, like, you have to. You want to get to greater things in life, everybody can't go with you. You want to get to greater things in life, you have to give up some things to show that you really want it. That's all. So y'all let me know what you think in the comment box below. We'll talk about it as usual. Keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts, share your experiences on what you've been through, what you've had to sacrifice before, what was hard for you to sacrifice, but you did it, and then what was the outcome? Like, for real, like, let's talk about it. Somebody needs to hear about it. Somebody needs to know. Somebody needs to know that they're not alone. We always get into situations where we feel like we're going through the mud and we're the only ones there, but we don't notice that there's thousands of other people in that same mud with us. So it feels good when we can have somebody who we can relate to. So just share what you know, what you're comfortable with sharing, and we will keep the conversation going, and we will talk next time. Bye.